الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. Tonight we will talk about the uncles and aunts of the children of Ali ibn Abi Talib, Hassan, Hussein and Muhassin. So we will start with the father side, the paternal uncles and aunts. So the first one that we'll look at is the oldest son of Abu Talib. So Ali radiallahu anhu is the son of Abu Talib. And Abu Talib has these children. The oldest is Talib, is also Talib, so Abu Talib. So in the Arabs, their tradition was that they will have the nickname kunya after the oldest son. So that's why he was named Abu Talib. He is the oldest, but he did not accept Islam, although he lived on all the way through the Medina period of the Prophet ﷺ. However, he loved the Prophet ﷺ like his father. He also wrote poetry in the praise of the Prophet ﷺ. He even went in some of the expeditions fighting with the idolaters of Mecca, the mushrikeen. But he went because they forced him to go. And he told them, look, I'm only for you guys. So he loved the Prophet ﷺ, but the seerah tells us that he did not accept Islam. The one that comes later is Aqil. Aqil ibn Abi Talib is 10 years younger than the older brother Talib. And he was also known as Abu Zayd. He also, he is the first of the oldest siblings that accepted Islam. And but he accepted Islam way later on after the Treaty of Hudaybiyah. And he was 10 years younger than Talib. The third is Ja'far ibn Abi Talib. Ja'far ibn Talib is 10 years again. They're all 10 years apart from one another, all the way to Ali ibn Abi Talib. He is one of the pioneers of the Muslims at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, early comers to Islam. He has many virtues. One of is that he is the one that did hijrah twice, the first time to Habasha, and he's the one who spoke before Najashi, and later on he accepted Islam, and the Prophet ﷺ prayed his janazah, ghaibana, for him. And after the hijrah, he stayed in in Habasha, in Abyssinia, for a long time. And he came to Medina way later on, after many years of the hijrah. So let's also look a little bit about their parents. So Abu Talib is the uncle of the Prophet ﷺ, and it goes straight back to the same chain of ancestry like the Prophet ﷺ. However, their mother, Ja'far and Aqil and Talib and all the rest of the siblings, their mother was someone that also accepted Islam. So within the family, many of them accepted Islam. Their mother, Fatima, some say her name was other names. She accepted Islam, and she also did hijrah with the other Muslims to Medina Munawwara. Ja'far ibn Abi Talib, there's a lot that we find in the history about his virtues. One that I just mentioned, he did hijrah twice. He is the one that accepted Islam in the family from the earliest after Ali ibn Abi Talib, the youngest one. He was a great supporter to the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet ﷺ said once that every prophet that came before me has many supporters and many people that stood up like close friends. And I was given 14, and then he mentioned one of them. Of course, the 4 Khulafa are mentioned, except for Uthman, but he is mentioned in one of those 14 names. And the Prophet ﷺ said that the closest to me in resemblance in terms of khalq and khuluq, meaning in terms of outward and inward, is Ja'far ibn Abi Talib. So he resembled the Prophet ﷺ the way how he looked, and also in his character. So he had great character. The Prophet ﷺ loved him so much. He's also called the Tayyar and Dhul Janahain, because he attended so many expeditions, and the last expedition that he went to was Mu'tah, the Battle of Mu'tah that happened in the now Jordan, where so many people died, and the Prophet ﷺ actually gave the prophecy that they will have 3 leaders, and he appointed 3 of them. Abdullah ibn Rawaha was Ja'far ibn Abi Talib, and the third, the name I'm forgetting. And he said that if the first one dies, then Abdullah ibn Rawaha was the last. Ja'far ibn Abi Talib was the second. He said after Ja'far ibn Abi Talib. So it was known that if the Prophet ﷺ said that so and so, after so and so, after so and so, he said in that sequence, it means that they're all going to die. So it was kind of like something that he told ahead of time. So he died in that battle, Ghazwa Mu'tah. Mu'tah is in Jordan, about 3 hours. I heard it's about 3 hours from Amman city. A lot of people go there to visit them, and all the shuhada of Mu'tah. It was, something. It's good to look at the whole story of it. There's a lot of interesting stories regarding that expedition itself. The other person that we'll look at is Hani bint Abi Talib. Their other sibling. Her name is Hani. Some say that her name is Fakhita. Some say is Hind. She accepted Islam, and the Prophet ﷺ also loved her a lot. And because the Prophet ﷺ, as we know, that he grew up in the household of his uncle Abu Talib, so of course he had very close relationship with all of his cousins. So Ali radiallahu anhu, Ja'far and Talib, Hani, and the Prophet ﷺ used to go to her at many occasions. And the story of Isra, according to a lot of historians, that the Isra and Mi'raj, it started from her house, Hani, her house. Her house now is included within the Haram boundary. It's actually very close to one of the closest houses that we know from the history to the Kaaba. Her house is very close.
Still the color is the red color? The pillar?
They removed that pillar.
Oh.
I don't know where they moved it. There are many ahadith that they mentioned about her. The 5th sibling that we will mention is Jumana bint Abi Talib. She also goes with the name of Abdullah as well. And there are many stories that are mentioned about her. The Prophet ﷺ loved all of their siblings. So those are the uncles and the aunts of Hassan and Hussein, meaning that the siblings of Ali ibn Abi Talib. Inshallah, we'll tomorrow talk about their aunts and uncles from mother's side. And that will be in detail, inshallah, because who is their mother? Fatima, the daughter of the Prophet ﷺ. So of course, we will talk about the other children of the Prophet ﷺ, and then we will go, inshallah, from there. We'll see how far we can go, maybe to the other uncles, inshallah. Barakallahu feekum wa sallallahu wa sallam ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi.